What is up, guys? Today is something I used to do a long time ago and I want to try and bring it back. I'm going to be breaking down team fights and skirmishes from my Diamond games and explaining play by play why they did or didn't work. Now, just before we jump in, I very quickly want to mention a game I've been playing recently with friends in between my League games. Now, Tome is pretty much just a casual, quick MOBA like League. It's fun, fast-paced, and quick to pick up and put down as a browser game. I really wanted to do this whole thing this way myself instead of running an in-your-face advert, so I'm going to pop the link down below. Just clicking it really does help me out, even if you aren't going to play it or sign up. And you guys know I don't normally do this, so I honestly do appreciate your support. Anyway, to kick off this new series, hopefully, I'm going to be doing, we're going to be looking at two bot lane skirmishes. Now, one is a straight up 2v2 fight and the other is a counter gank. And I'll be explaining what people are thinking as well as what they actually do. The fight starts with a good hook from Thresh onto Nami, and then here I have to decide who I'm going to focus. Even though the hook is onto Nami, it's not always the one you want to go for, as it means Tristana is going to be doing free damage off on the side. So in this case, however, I am going to go for the Nami for two reasons. So number one, she recently just used her flash, so she can't get away. And number two, as Nami, she's not very durable, so I can kill her before that free damage from Tristana actually adds up. Now this is where I have to make the next big choice. The Nami wave is about to hit me and I'm exhausted, meaning I can't really do any damage anyway. So I decide not to arcane shift here to dodge it, and that's simply because I don't really need to. I'm exhausted, so the knock-up doesn't reduce my potential damage much anyway, and I want to save it for shifting away from Tristana's jump, which is a lot of her early damage. The other thing you'll notice if I run this in slow motion is that I'm actually moving downwards the entire time, and that's purely just to try and put Thresh in between me and Tristana and take her focus away from me. So Ezreal's ultimate is extremely important in early fights. It's where most of your all-in damage comes from when you're fighting, so you have to hit it in fights basically. Hitting it in this fight is not really an issue because she doesn't have flash to dodge it, but if I had fired this when the exhaust was on, I wouldn't have done much damage at all. Instead, what I do is I wait until the exhaust is just off me and then I ultimate straight away for the most damage possible. So now that Thresh is low, I can see that he has Tristana's full attention. Just notice how she's right next to me now, but she isn't attacking me at all because she's tunnel visioning for the kill on Thresh. Now this, combined with the fact that Nami was so low, meant that it was safe for me to go all in with my shift and finish her off before she could escape. Okay, so this is the final thing I want to point out, and it's just the usage of my heal here to attempt to save Thresh. Now I held on to this during the whole fight because honestly I didn't need to use it, but now that I do need to use it, he has the Tristana healing debuff from her E. Now when I see her animation go off, I know that I have to heal or he dies, but as I said, I tried to hold it for as long as possible in the hope that the debuff would disappear and he'd get the full heal amount. So that's the first fight out of the way, and now let's move on to something different, a 3v3 fight in the bot lane with both junglers. Ezreal is a lot stronger than me in this clip, and you'll see that I kind of adapt my decisions knowing that as well. The first thing I know straight away is Ezreal has used his shift here along with the Nami wave, so that's two big cooldowns out of the fight. Now Karma speeds us up with a mantra shield, which thankfully gets me out of dodge, even though for some reason I really do dirt and I walk back into the wave, but this is when Panth drops and the fight really begins. So here again, I have to choose who to focus, and this time it's a little bit easier because with ADs, the general rule is to focus the highest priority, closest target that is safe to do so. Now in this case, Panth is the highest priority anyway. He's fed and he has 2 levels on us, and he's also the target that Lucian is most likely to go for, so it just makes sense. Also note that Nami uses her bubble and Pantheon uses his W or stun onto Karma, which is going to be important in a little bit later. So this whole play is a bit different from the first time because I'm not focusing just on my play, it's going to be my teammates as well. In this situation, Lucian actually wins the fight with this play. He gets behind Pantheon, who's focusing Karma, and he kicks him into the tower, which in the end allows us to take him out. You'll also see as I roll this clip that Ezreal is focusing me, but I want to keep damaging Pantheon. Now partly this is because he's the focus obviously, but also because Ezreal is stronger than me, so I can't really turn and fight him anyway. Now what I do is I attack Pantheon and I move closer to my tower after each hit to create some distance from Ezreal. Now my positioning here may seem a little bit odd, but Pantheon has no stun up and I have to get away from Ezreal, so this is actually the safest place for me. You'll also see here I've used my heal quite early, especially considering the last clip where we saw that I held it. Now the reason I use it early this time is kinda twofold. So Pantheon has his 100% crit execute, so standing next to him without healing would have been really risky. And secondly, Ezreal is still firing shots up my backside, so the combination of the two could have easily got me killed. Now at this point the fight is pretty much won. Pantheon is about to go down and Lucian's still pretty healthy, so you may think, why did I bother flashing the Ezreal ultimate? The answer is basically it does a lot of damage if it doesn't go through many people, and I'm pretty sure that with his ultimate plus a Q it probably would have killed me. Honestly, watching this back, maybe I didn't need to flash, but me dying here would have made this a 1-for-1 and put Ezreal even further ahead, which is a risk that's really not worth taking. So you'll see that Lucian actually picks up a triple off this play, but Lee definitely made the play here. The kick onto Pantheon allowed us to kill the most important target, and this play actually turned the tides of the game with the dragon that we got afterwards. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I haven't done anything like this for a long time, but I definitely want to do more, and I'm thinking maybe of doing these from your games as well. Anyway, that's it for this time, so I'll catch you in my next video.